The sirens slice through the quiet of a Pennsylvania night. For the residents of this small town, it's a sound that usually means a minor fender bender or a false alarm. But not tonight. Tonight, the wail is frantic, urgent. It's a sound that signals disaster. Thick black smoke is pouring into the sky, blotting out the stars. It's coming from the heart of the community, from an apartment building where families are sleeping, where lives are unfolding, completely unaware of the danger that's about to engulf them. As the first fire truck screams onto the scene, the view is apocalyptic. Flames, a furious, hungry orange, are devouring the building from the inside out. They lick at the window frames, shattering glass that rains down onto the street below. The heat is so intense you can feel it from a block away. For the firefighters pulling on their gear, this isn't just another call. This is a multi-story residential building. This is a race against a clock that's ticking down with terrifying speed. Every second that passes, the fire grows stronger, and the chances of survival for anyone trapped inside grow slimmer. The fire chief, a veteran of countless blazes, takes command. His voice is steady, but his eyes betray the immense pressure. He's coordinating a complex ballet of hoses, ladders, and personnel. Teams are assigned. One group to attack the blaze head-on, another to search and rescue. It's a calculated risk, sending firefighters into a structure that, as actively trying to collapse, is one of the most dangerous decisions a chief can make. But there are people in there. Grandparents, parents, children. Their lives hang in the balance, and these brave men and women are their only hope. Inside, the scene is pure chaos. The smoke is a living entity, a choking, blinding monster that fills every hallway, every room. It's impossible to see, impossible to breathe. The alarms are screaming, a deafening, incessant shriek that adds to the panic. Residents, jolted from their sleep, are disoriented and terrified. They stumble through the darkness, calling out for loved ones, their voices swallowed by the roar of the fire. Some make it to the stairwells, a desperate exodus down into the cool night air. Others are not so lucky. They're cut off by the flames, trapped in a furnace with no way out. This is where the true heroism begins. Firefighters, laden with over 70 pounds of gear, push their way into the inferno. Their air tanks provide a precious, limited supply of oxygen in an environment that has none. They crawl on their hands and knees below the worst of the heat and smoke, feeling their way through the darkness. They sweep rooms with their hands and tools, searching for any sign of life. It's a methodical, painstaking process. They call out, "Fire department, is anyone in here?" Their voices are muffled by their masks, but they pray someone, anyone, will hear them. On the street, a crowd has gathered. They watch in horrified silence, their faces illuminated by the flashing lights and the hellish glow of the fire. They are neighbors, friends, and family of those inside. They hold each other, they cry, they pray. Every time a firefighter emerges from the building, carrying a soot-covered survivor, a wave of relief and applause ripples through the crowd. But for every person rescued, the question hangs heavy in the air. How many more are still inside? The minutes feel like hours. The fire continues its relentless assault, parts of the roof beginning to groan and sag under the intense heat. The battle rages for hours. Water cannons drench the building, turning smoke into massive plumes of steam. Ladder trucks extend their aerial platforms, allowing firefighters to attack the flames from above and rescue people from upper floor windows. It's a coordinated, multi-front war against an enemy that feels unbeatable. Finally, as the first hints of dawn begin to streak the sky, the fire's fury begins to subside. The orange glow is replaced by the dull, smoldering red of embers. The roar quiets to a hiss. The fight isn't over, but the tide has turned. In the aftermath, the building is a blackened skeleton, a ghostly shell of what it once was. The sun rises on a scene of utter devastation, but amidst the wreckage, There are stories of incredible courage and survival. Stories of firefighters who risked everything, of neighbors who helped strangers, of a community that came together in its darkest hour. This fire took homes and possessions, but it couldn't extinguish the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that honors our first responders. The moment the alarm blares, everything changes. The world shrinks to this single deafening sound, a heartbeat that isn't your own, but commands every cell in your body. You move without thinking, muscle memory taking over. Boots on, jacket zipped, helmet secured. It's a dance you've practiced 1,000 times, but never once has it felt like just a rehearsal. Each time, it's for real. My name is Alex Johnson, and I'm a firefighter. People see the uniform, the big red truck, the hero narrative. But what they don't see is the knot that tightens in your stomach when you hear there are people trapped inside. They don't feel the searing heat that greets you like a physical wall, or the thick, acrid smoke that steals your breath and your sight. You pull on your mask, and the world outside muffles. All you can hear now is your own breathing, a steady rhythmic draw and release of air. It's a strange, isolated peace in the middle of absolute chaos. That's your anchor. Your focus narrows to the mission, search and rescue. Find them, get them out. My first real fire, I was terrified. Every instinct screamed at me to run the other way, away from the roaring beast that consumes everything in its path. But then I saw my captain, a man who'd been doing this for 30 years, walk into that inferno with a calm I couldn't comprehend. He looked back, saw the fear in my eyes, and just nodded. It wasn't a command. It was a promise. A promise that we go in together and we come out together. That's the core of it all. It's not about being fearless. I don't know a single firefighter who isn't scared. It's about looking that fear right in the eye and taking a step forward anyway, because someone's life depends on it. It's about the trust you have in the person next to you, the person who has your back, whose hands you trust with your life without a second thought. We train for the worst case scenarios. Collapsed roofs, flashovers, getting disoriented and zero visibility. We crawl through dark, smoky mazes, following a hose line like a lifeline, our hands sweeping the floor in wide arcs, searching for a sign of life. Every second feels like an eternity. Your mind plays tricks on you. A falling piece of drywall sounds like a person calling out. A shadow moves and your heart leaps, but then you find someone. A small hand that grabs yours in the darkness. A faint cough from under a piece of furniture. In that moment, all the fear, all the heat, all the exhaustion evaporates. An incredible surge of adrenaline and purpose takes over. You shield them with your own body, share your air if you have to, and you talk to them. You tell them, I've got you. We're getting out of here. Your voice has to be the calm in their storm. The greatest feeling in the world isn't putting out the fire. It is seeing the face of a family member when you carry their loved one out of the smoke and into the fresh air. It's the relief that washes over them, the tears, the hug that nearly crushes your ribs. That's our paycheck. That's why we run into buildings that everyone else is running out of. It takes a toll physically and mentally. We see things people should never have to see. We carry the weight of the calls we couldn't change, the lives we couldn't save. It's crucial to talk about it, to lean on each other, and to seek help when the weight gets too heavy. This job is a marathon, not a sprint, and taking care of our own minds is just as important as maintaining our equipment. So next time you see a fire truck race by, sirens wailing, remember it's not just a machine. It's a team of ordinary people heading towards someone's worst day, ready to make a difference. It's a privilege to wear this uniform, to be part of this brotherhood and sisterhood. It is the best job in the world. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and take care of each other. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something we all face but rarely discuss openly: fear. We often see heroes in movies, like someone running into a burning building without a second thought. We see Alex' flashlight beam cutting through the smoke, debris falling all around, and we think, wow, that person is fearless. But is that really what's happening? Is the goal to be completely without fear? I don't think so. What if I told you that the bravest people you know are probably just as scared as anyone else? The real difference isn't the absence of fear. It's what they do when that fear shows up. Courage isn't about not being afraid. Courage is being terrified but deciding that something else is more important. It's that moment you feel your heart pounding, your palms sweating, and you think, I can't do this. But you take a step forward anyway. Think about it in your own life. It might not be a burning building. It could be the fear of public speaking, the fear of starting a new business, the fear of having a difficult conversation, or even the fear of asking for help when you're struggling. These are your own personal smoke-filled rooms. The easy thing to do is to stay outside where it's safe, it's comfortable. No one would blame you. But growth, change, and all the things you truly want are on the other side of that fear. So how do we start building this muscle of courage? It begins with small steps. You don't have to tackle your biggest fear tomorrow. Start with something that makes you just a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay quiet. Maybe it's trying a new hobby you've always been curious about but were afraid to be bad at. Each time you act despite fear, you're teaching your brain a new lesson. Hey, I was scared, but I did it, and I'm okay. In fact, I'm stronger. This process is about redefining your relationship with fear. Instead of seeing it as a stop sign, start seeing it as a compass. Fear often points directly to the areas where you have the most potential for growth. When you feel that knot in your stomach, instead of automatically backing away, ask yourself, what's on the other side of this feeling? What could I gain if I just pushed through it for a moment? Remember the image of Alex in that collapsing building? He wasn't running in because he didn't feel the danger. He was running in because his reason to act may be to save someone. To fulfill a duty was stronger than his instinct to run away. He found his why. What's your why? What's so important to you that it's worth facing a little discomfort? It could be your family, your career, your personal development, or your well-being. Holding on to that why is your fuel. And please, be kind to yourself in this process. Some days, fear will win. You'll stay outside the building, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just acknowledge it and try again another day. Courage is a practice, not a permanent state of being. Every day is a new opportunity to choose action over avoidance. So I challenge you this week to find one small thing that scares you and do it anyway. Notice the fear, thank it for trying to keep you safe, and then politely tell it you've got this. You might be surprised at what you're capable of. You are so much stronger and more courageous than you think. You just have to give yourself the chance to prove it. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on living a more intentional life. I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most heart-stopping, nail-biting rescue scenes ever put to film. You know the one I'm talking about? The moment that had us all on the edge of our seats, holding our breath, and maybe even shedding a tear or two. Let's break down the sheer cinematic brilliance of Alex's impossible rescue. The scene opens and the tension is immediate. We're not eased into it. We're thrown right into the heart of the chaos. The camera gives us this terrifyingly intimate close-up. A little girl, her face streaked with soot and tears, her tiny fingers barely clinging to a window ledge high above the street. Every muscle in her body is trembling. You can feel her fear, her desperation. The world below is a blur of flashing lights and distant sirens, completely out of reach. It's a primal fear we can all understand, the fear of falling, of being alone and helpless. Then, through the swirling smoke and dancing embers, a figure emerges. It's Alex. He's not a superhero in a cape. He's just a man, covered in grime, his face etched with determination. The way the scene is shot, we see the danger from his perspective, too. The floor groans under his weight, threatening to collapse. Debris rains down from the ceiling. Every step he takes is a gamble. The sound design here is just masterful. You hear the roar of the fire, the creaking of the building, and over it all, the frantic, thumping heartbeat that feels like it's your own. As he gets closer, the camera work is pure genius. It cuts between the girl's terrified eyes and Alex's focused, reassuring gaze. He doesn't shout. He doesn't make any sudden moves. His voice is calm, a steady anchor in the storm of noise and fear. He's talking to her, not just with words, but with his entire presence. He's telling her, I'm here. You're not alone. I've got you. This quiet moment of connection amidst the absolute pandemonium is what makes the scene so powerful. It's not about big, loud heroics. It's about simple human compassion in the face of overwhelming odds, and then the moment of truth. He reaches her. The camera lingers on his hands as he gently, carefully lifts her away from the ledge. The sheer relief that washes over her face is something you feel deep in your soul. He pulls her into his arms, cocooning her, shielding her with his own body as a piece of the ceiling crashes down right where she was moments before. The timing is just perfect. It reinforces the stakes and makes the rescue feel that much more miraculous. The suspenseful music swells, not with a triumphant fanfare, but with a deep, emotional crescendo that mirrors the wave of relief we're all feeling. As he turns to carry her back through the inferno, the scene isn't over. The danger is still very real. The journey back is just as perilous as the journey there. But now there's a critical difference. They aren't two separate, desperate individuals anymore. They are a single unit, a testament to courage and the instinct to protect. He's not just saving a life, he's restoring hope. This scene is a masterclass in building tension, creating emotional stakes, and delivering a payoff that is both thrilling and profoundly moving. It reminds us that the greatest acts of heroism often come from ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. What a scene. It truly is one for the ages. What did you all think when you first saw it? Let me know your reactions in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movie moments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that touches the core of what it means to be human: heroism. We often see heroes in movies larger-than-life figures with superpowers. But what about the heroes who walk among us? The ones who, in a single moment of crisis, make a choice to act, to risk everything for someone else. Imagine this scene. A building is engulfed in flames, smoke is pouring from every window, and the sound of crackling fire is deafening. Inside, a man named Alex finds a young girl trapped and terrified. He doesn't hesitate. He scoops her up, shielding her with his own body as he navigates the treacherous, collapsing structure. This isn't a movie set. This is a moment of pure, raw courage. What drives someone like Alex to run into a burning building when every survival instinct is screaming to run out? Psychologists talk about a concept called situational heroism. It's the idea that ordinary people can be transformed into heroes by extraordinary circumstances. It's not about a lack of fear. It's about acting in spite of it. It's about an overwhelming sense of empathy and responsibility that pushes fear to the background. Think about it. Alex isn't thinking about his own safety. His entire focus is on the small, precious life in his arms. Every step he takes down that burning staircase is a testament to the power of human connection. He's not just carrying a child, he's carrying hope. He's carrying the very best of us. As they move through the chaos, the building groans and shifts around them. This is a race against time, a desperate gamble against a force of nature, and then the critical moment. Just as they clear the doorway and burst into the open air, a huge section of the ceiling behind them crashes down in a shower of sparks and debris. A split second later, and the story would have had a tragic ending. But they made it. They are out, covered in soot, breathing in the precious, clean air. The girl, safe in his arms, clings to him, her fear slowly giving way to relief. And Alex, despite his exhaustion and burns, manages a faint smile. That smile says it all. It's not a smile of triumph, but one of profound relief and connection. In that moment, they are no longer strangers. They are two souls bound together by a shared experience of terror and survival. This is what heroism looks like in the real world. It's messy, it's painful, and it's incredibly beautiful. It's not about getting a medal or being on the news. It's about that quiet, powerful moment when you know you made a difference. This story isn't just about Alex. It's about the potential for heroism that exists within each and every one of us. We all face our own burning buildings in life moments that test our courage, our compassion, and our resolve. Maybe it's standing up for someone who's being bullied, helping a neighbor in need, or simply offering a kind word to a stranger who's struggling. These acts, big and small, are what build a better world. They are the threads that weave the fabric of a strong, caring community. It's easy to feel helpless in the face of big problems, but the truth is, we all have the power to be someone's hero. It starts with a choice, the choice to see beyond ourselves, to connect with others, and to act with kindness and courage. So, what can we learn from Alex's story? We learn that heroes are not born. They are made in moments of decision. We learn that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And most importantly, we learn that the greatest rewards in life often come from what we give, not what we get. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever witnessed an act of everyday heroism? Share your stories. Let's celebrate the heroes among us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Stay safe, be kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that gets thrown around a lot. Courage. We see it in movies, we read about it in books. But what does it really mean to be courageous in our everyday lives? Is it about being a superhero? About never feeling fear? I don't think so. In fact, I think real courage is something much more relatable, much more human. Let's imagine a story. Picture a small, quiet town, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. And in this town lives a guy named Alex. Alex isn't a firefighter or a soldier. He's just a regular person, maybe a librarian or a baker. He's quiet, keeps to himself, and frankly, he's scared of a lot of things. He's scared of public speaking, he's scared of heights, he's even a little scared of his neighbor's grumpy cat. He's not the person you'd pick out of a crowd and say, now there's a hero. One afternoon, a storm rolls into town, a really nasty one. The wind howls, rain comes down in sheets, and the old river on the edge of town starts to rise. Fast. An evacuation order goes out, but in the chaos, a little girl gets separated from her family. She's trapped in her house near the riverbank, and the water is getting dangerously high. Everyone is panicking. The emergency services are stretched thin, trying to help people all over town. People are gathered at a safe distance, watching the river swell, feeling helpless. They're all scared. And so is Alex. His heart is pounding in his chest. His palms are sweating. Every instinct is screaming at him to stay where it's safe, to wait for the professionals. He sees the little girl's light flickering in the window, and he feels a knot of pure terror in his stomach. This is the moment that defines courage. It's not about not feeling that terror, it's about what you do next. Alex sees the fear on everyone else's faces and he feels his own. But he also sees that little girl's light, and in that moment, something inside him shifts. He knows that waiting might be too late. The right thing to do isn't some abstract concept anymore. It's a choice, right here, right now. He doesn't have a grand plan. He just starts moving. He grabs a coil of rope from a nearby truck and wades into the churning water. It's cold, the current is strong, and he's terrified. He's not fearless, he's full of fear, but he keeps going. He fights his way to the house, pulls the little girl out, and with the help of others who were inspired by his action, gets her back to safety. When they reach dry land, the whole town is there. They're not just cheering for a hero. They're cheering for one of their own who, despite being just as scared as they were, chose to act. Alex, soaking wet and shaking, doesn't feel like a hero. He just feels relieved that the girl is safe. And that's the core of it. That's the point I want to leave you with. Courage isn't the absence of fear. True courage is feeling that fear, acknowledging it, and still doing what you know is right. It's about that internal battle where your conscience wins out over your instinct for self-preservation. It might not be saving someone from a flood. It might be speaking up for a coworker who's being treated unfairly. It might be finally starting that project you've been putting off because you're scared to fail. It might be having a difficult but necessary conversation with a loved one. We all have those moments, big and small, where fear tells us to stay put to play it safe. The next time you feel that fear, remember Alex. Remember that courage isn't about being superhuman. It's about being human, feeling the fear, and doing the right thing anyway. It's about letting your values guide you, even when your knees are knocking. That's a power we all have inside us. Thanks so much for watching today. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what courage means to you. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.